old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, and close its way under your skin. Just got bound from the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit. That good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
There it is. Welcome in to the ground.
Good
Right here,
morning.
21 Cincinnati. Good friends over here at Natural Therapy Wellness Center. www.mchenrymassage.com, 815-385-8190. Also, check out our good friends over at J.H. Events and Flowers. Big event going on there tonight.
Yeah, they're having.
You going? Alice and I are
No,
going.
I'm actually headed out of town.
Okay.
But I did want to go.
Yeah.
But I've got a few things I got to take care of, unfortunately.
Alice and I
But
heading over there, looking forward to it.
Yeah, we were there last year. It's a great event. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a nice way to socialize, hang out with everybody, and see what's going on. See all the great, flowers and arrangements, and
holiday
stuff.
arrangements.
The holiday arrangement.
Yeah.
It's not. They do it all year long, though. Just so you know,
They
it's
do.
just not for Christmas.
Yeah.
They have flowers all year. They grow 'em.
Uncle Pete's up there right now with the StreamYard. Put that into your URL. Join the show. Today's viewer's choice. We got nothing.
What do you want? A lot, but we just
What,
haven't narrowed
what
it
do you
down.
what do you want to talk about? You know what? It's there's a lot going on in both of our lives. And we didn't really have time this week to connect and make things happen. You were with the wife yesterday, getting the other
Yeah.
surgery taken care of.
Yep. So now she has two good eyes, and
Yep.
she's still married to me. So
There you go. Well, give her time.
Give her time.
That's right. And I was bouncing all over the world basketball yesterday. Big shout out to Bobby Bainey at Think Big Go Local. She is an adjunct professor over at the community college here in Crystal Lake, and she had Drew Cappuccino and myself come over and talk to her class about what we do and how we do it, as she does a social media class. So it was really pretty cool, fun time.
Yeah, I bet.
Never thought I'd be out of college, teaching.
Being like an assistant professor,
For
professore,
a day. Yeah.
professor.
So really,
Yeah.
it was a good time. It was fun. Got about a handful. When I say a handful, five of our students looking to do a project with us. So it'd be kind of cool.
That's really cool.
New
though,
show.
right? I
and,
mean, well, it feels good inside because you're kind
Yeah.
of helping kids to at least experiment or expand and look into something different, right? You might have gotten them
Yeah.
excited about, oh, hey, this is something I never thought about before.
Pretty cool.
I could do that. I mean, it's attainable because when you talk to people and I tell people that we have a podcast, they're always like, oh my God, like it's like you don't have to be super, super smart or anything. Anyone can do a podcast. You obviously have to put it together and come up with things, but anything's attainable.
Yeah. And Cappuccino, good morning, said it was fun and I felt old.
You are old, man, but that's okay. Share your wisdom. That's
Listen,
what it's there about.
He literally brought up the show Friends. None of these kids were alive when Friends
I was
was
just going
playing.
to say that's a little bit.
It had already gone off the air. Like on Thursday when you watch Friends and it.
Yeah, right. The kids are like, a couple of them are probably hitting it on their phone going, ooh, what's that? What's that, Friends? Oh, that's that dude that just died. Yeah. That's why I know him.
Yeah. We had to turn on the television and watch. This was before streaming, and they're looking at like,
what?
I'm like, how many people watch a show or something and nobody raised their hands because all these kids, all they do is stream stuff now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a totally different dynamic for kids for sure.
It was awesome.
It had to be fun for sure when you guys are doing something because obviously podcasting and this is a passion.
Yeah.
Right? You're sharing that passion and opening those kids up to what could be something that they didn't even realize was something they could do or be interested in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, your normal Joes can do that.
Cappuccino and myself, there were probably some old teachers rolling over their grave because we were teaching.
Going, oh my God, you guys, what are you doing?
What? Yeah.
And the teachers that probably, gave you shit or like gave me shit back in the day, I'm sure we're better people than them.
Oh,
right?
Could be.
No, I firmly believe that for sure.
So it was crazy. Good time though, but it's just been a super busy week. And as we look to wrap up the year, everything. I mean, the days seem to just go click, 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 click.
Oh my God, they're just jamming along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's already almost, well, it's what is it today? The 20th, 19th?
16th, 17th, maybe. Yeah.
No, I got to look because I got myself going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 17th. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the month is it's whizzing along. The year's whizzed along, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's because it's, I mean, some days when it's bad, things go by faster. Sometimes when it's good, it goes by even faster.
Yeah.
Right. So,
did time move this fast when you were a kid?
I don't think so. I don't remember. I mean, it's one of those things that until you really think about it, I mean, now it's, what do they say? Days are slow and years are fast, or what's the
I don't know. Sure. Just say it with confidence.
I'm trying to remember what the statement is, because it's your days go by really slowly, but the years fly by. It's like, the days drag, but the years happening, right? I mean, I'm 56 this year.
Woo!
Yeah, right. I got gray hair. You see that? It's worked for, though. I worked for it. I don't know what I did for it.
That ain't gray, bro. That's white. I know.
All right, I'm leaving. Thank you.
That's what I'm like. No, this is white.
This is white. Well, then why do they call it gray?
I'm not sure. It's pretty white though.
You colorblind?
Yeah, maybe. Time moved slow when I was a kid. I know it did. It moved. I think so too.
Did it move slower because we didn't have a lot to do, or there wasn't a lot on our plate? We didn't have a lot of responsibility, so it just kind of did whatever you did. Now it's so fast, goes by faster because we've got things that we've got to do. We've got things we need to accomplish. I mean,
I don't know. If I were to say why did it move slower as a kid, I would say that my time moved slower as a kid because I didn't really have any goals, and the goal was just to have fun. Right? I mean, so I wasn't really working towards anything.
Right. There wasn't an end in spot.
Right. Back when I was young, you didn't play basketball all year round like they do now, like athletes do now. There wasn't, so during basketball season that went by, you're like, oh man, how did I go from October to the end of February really that fast? Because you had a goal and you were doing something all the time.
You're constantly active.
But the rest of the year is like, man, because really,
the school year always went super, super slow.
Yeah.
Right? But summertime comes, you're all happy, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, what do you mean? 3 months just disappeared?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we just get out?
Right.
Now we're going back. And then the school year,
Dana, morning.
The school year, like, oh my God.
Yeah. So today's viewer's choice. We're just bibbling and babbling over a cup of coffee and a little tea.
Yeah, because we got so much going on this week.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things we could talk about, but what relevancy? I mean, can you really go to? I mean, you mentioned the one the other day, and we won't mention names, but for me, the one thing that we've kind of tossed back and forth for a couple of weeks here is just customer service, the lack thereof in any industry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm finding it in medical as well as just your day-to-day stopping in to, see a place and have some food or whatever. And it's like, you're almost inconveniencing people being there.
Shana says, if you had to eliminate all sports and save one, what would it be? What would you go with?
That's a good one.
A lot of people today would say pickleball. That's a hot thing, right? And if you're not familiar with pickleball, watch it. It's wiffle ball tennis.
As I say, it's wiffle ball. It's tennis. It's half the size of the court tennis.
Well, yeah,
right, half size.
But you play with a wiffle ball and a wooden paddle.
Wooden paddle, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like ping pong, but on a court instead of on a table.
That's wiffle ball tennis.
Wiffle ball tennis.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean. I really enjoyed. I would save one. I would say skiing because that's the one that I enjoy the most. It's probably for me the most freeing and enjoyable. But I mean,
yeah,
that's a kind of a hobby in a lot of ways, though, right? I mean, skiing is a sport.
Yeah,
but the way I do it, it's more of a hobby. I enjoy it to myself. It's not a team thing where I'm not competing against people other than myself, hoping I can make it down the hill.
Yeah,
better than I did the time before. But. I mean, from a team standpoint, I'd probably
no team. It's just sport.
Just sport.
Just answer the question.
I can't answer that question.
You would be horrible in court.
That's why I'm not a lawyer.
No, I didn't do it, but Kent was in there and he had the gun, and Thank you,
That's
sir.
why I'm not a lawyer.
Shayna says MMA. She's hanging on to MMA. Loves seeing dudes beat and women beat each other up. You know the fastest growing sport in America, what it is?
No, I have no idea.
Does anybody out there know what the fastest growing sport in America is right
It's
now?
got to be pickleball.
No.
No.
Women's wrestling. Like high school wrestling. Yeah.
Really?
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
The fastest growing sport in America right now. Yeah.
Why? I mean, what's the trigger for that?
I don't know. Women. Why can't
right,
women
no,
wrestle?
women can, but
Yeah.
I mean, why? What is pushing that to start growing so quickly? I mean,
I'm not a woman. Ask a woman.
Take care of
Don't ask me. I'm not a
well,
woman.
that's why I'm asking you, because you got 4 girls, so maybe you
I got
know a
3
little bit more-
girls.
or 3
but
girls.
yeah.
Well, you got your wife.
Yeah.
So. But the mindset, is there a mindset there? Why did things change?
I would like to see battle pets become a sport. My white-faced capuchin monkey would dominate. Battle pets. If I were to go, basketball always is. That's been my go-to since I was, 18 months old. So basketball is in my DNA, my family's DNA. So I would never get rid of basketball. But if there was one sport that was left that we had to hang on to, outside of pole vaulting, I would say golf. I love, golf. You're out in nature. It's a sport. It's like chess. It's a total sport that's all in your head. It doesn't, you don't play against somebody. You compete against yourself. Every shot's a new shot. Every round, you could play the same course each day, all week, and it'd be different every day. I mean, it's just, because the elements, absolutely 100% golf. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
would be the one that I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely different every time.
Right. That's what I mean.
And it is in your head. I mean, although you are competing against other people, if per se with the score, right? But you are competing with yourself and what you did last time and how you can hopefully.
Fishing the same way. If Cappuccino says fishing. I love.
I like catching. I don't really like.
That's
fishing. I don't like fishing. I love catching.
I don't
That's my sport.
Yeah, I don't understand fish because they like something one day and they don't the next. But
they're fickle.
Well, yeah, I guess. But I mean, every day is different, just like golfing. With that, I mean, you can go to a honey hole one day and catch a bunch of fish, and go to the same place next day, and they're
in a different mood.
Yeah,
different mood, just like us. We're different mood, different.
But you are out on the water. I mean, there's
way to relax.
Some really nice stuff about fishing. But that's the nice thing about golf too, is you're outside. I walk in the woods a lot when I'm golfing because, well, I'm hunting for balls.
Not yours, because yours is out in the fairway, but you're just looking.
Trust me, mine's in there a lot too. But that's why
that's part of the game.
If I can find more balls than I lose, it's a win.
Yeah. Well, I think golf is one of those games that it's so frustrating that you get so bad that you continually come back. Right? I can do better tomorrow.
Yeah,
I could buy one more new club.
Shane is so true. So true. I miss battle bots and the defeated crying nerds. I know they get so passionate about their little bots. You ever see battle bots?
I watched it when it first came out. That's pretty intense stuff there. Those guys go through some,
those nerds are crazy. Yeah.
Well, it's not even the nerd, just the people doing it. They're not necessarily nerds.
They are nerds.
Are they all nerds?
Would you consider yourself a nerd?
Yeah.
You're not a nerd.
I'm not a nerd.
Oh my God. You don't even know how to operate your phone. How are you a nerd?
Why? So to be a nerd, you got to be smart. You just can't be different.
Yeah. What? Did you ever watch the movie Revenge of the Nerds?
I did, but that doesn't mean you don't have to be smart to be a nerd. I mean,
Ogre was different. Was he a nerd?
Yeah, he was a total nerd.
No, he wasn't.
He was a total nerd in my book.
Oh my God.
He was super smart.
Ogre?
Great burp. Yeah.
Ogre?
Oh yeah.
You're thinking Booger.
Oh, Booger.
Ogre.
Right. Ogre. The Ogre's
was the big
dude.
Football jock. I'm like, what? Oh my God.
Well, what do you constitute as a nerd? So a nerd to you, it has to be someone smart.
Yeah.
That has what?
Geeky, nerdy. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah, absolutely.
I don't.
Yeah.
Send your email.
Scott's a geek. Scott's a geek.
I'm a geek.
That's
There's
what
a
he
difference.
says.
Oh, thanks, Drew. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's the little bookworms, the socially awkward people who are pretty smart and intelligent, want to take over the world. Would you say that Zuckerberg is a nerd?
I don't know him, but I mean, what they portray at him, I would say he's just
I mean, he's a billionaire now.
right.
But
Well, I mean,
yeah,
Shayna
he's a
says
nerd.
geek is
That's a
not
nerd.
nerd. I
That
would
changed the world.
I don't know. I would almost
Revenge.
I would almost think that he's a geek, not a nerd.
Oh, very nerdy.
Yeah.
Very nerdy. Yeah.
So nerdy though is in your definition is just a smart individual that has no social.
Yeah, a little socially awkward.
Socially awkward.
Not real good hygiene.
Not real good hygiene.
Yeah, bury themselves into their nerdosity. Yeah.
Nerdosity is
Yeah.
that the bumper sticker?
Yeah, Drew says I agree with Shayna.
Yeah.
Geek is not nerd. Correct. Yeah. Right. Geek is not nerd. Right.
Geek
That's
is
two
different.
different. Yeah. Geeks are a little more techie. Geeks are my favorite people.
See, that's
Yeah.
what I would probably call Zuckerberg more of a geek in my mind. Techie,
No, he was a nerd.
is he?
That's why he created Facebook. It was to poke out women, and because he was socially awkward
inept,
and
yeah.
nerdy. Yeah.
It was a good concept. It was a good concept.
And it's like Pinky in the Brain. What are we going to do tonight? Brain, we're going to do what we do every night, Pinky. Take over the world.
Take over the world.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys got on your plate? This is viewer's choice, listener's choice. Go ahead and call in 1-800 eat shit. And we'll take your call. Don't like my driving? Call the same number.
So here, listen here. This is what they say. They say nerd is a socially awkward, which you said, and an intelligent but single-minded person obsessed with non-social hobby or pursuit. Geek is a digital technology expert or enthusiast and a person who has excessive enthusiasm for and some expertise about specialized subject or activity.
See?
They're brothers.
Could be.
They're brothers.
Elon is a geek. Zuckerberg is a nerd. Solid nerd. Yeah.
Thoughts I've never thought about.
I would agree. Geeks, whether introverted or extroverted, can talk and ad nauseum about their interest. Often comes across as pretentious, but truly knows his or her stuff. Nerds tend to be introverted. Yeah,
I would say that's definitely
Yeah.
a true statement. Being as far as being introverted,
yeah.
I mean that's the socially awkward thing. I mean they, don't want to share with everybody else. I don't know. Back in high school or back in grade school, I probably would have been. I mean, I was.
You were a
definitely
fat little kid.
Yeah, I was.
They got picked on, didn't you? Bullied.
I did.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the worker. I was the one that worked it hard. But I don't think I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't a geek. I was just.
You were the fat kid.
I was the fat kid.
Yeah.
I was the.
You weren't really. You were husky. You wore husky pants.
I wore husky pants.
You wore husky pants.
I wore husky.
I was
pants.
slim.
Thank you, Mom.
I wore slim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those husky jeans saved my ass. I told you that story, didn't I?
Yeah.
Husky jeans.
Yeah. You have. Yeah.
Those things were tough skins. Sorry, tough
Tough
skins. Not
skins, right.
Huskies. Tough skins.
Hey, Ted Legal, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Ted is back in action after a tough year of a bunch of medical BS. But good to see you around, brother. Thanks for joining. Now you're just describing me.
I am taking. She's going off of Andrew's comment.
Yeah. So, no, I was that guy. I blended with. I could hang out with the nerds. I could hang out with the geeks. I could hang out with the jocks. I could hang out with the preps. I could hang out with who we called the hoods, right? The auto shop.
You were
guys.
a very adaptive child.
I was like a chameleon.
Yeah, I was going to say you're a chameleon. You're just spreading all over, huh? Whichever one.
I'm still that way. I kind of love everybody. I enjoy people. So
yeah, 100%.
I also hate them all.
Right.
I hate them equally.
As much as you love them.
Yeah. Never fat, just candy coated.
True.
That's it. When he says candy coated, it means it was dripping on his fingers.
Yeah.
I was always tiny. Like my mom was 5 at her max height was 5 foot, right?
Right.
So and my dad's 6'2" or whatever. So I was 5 foot tall going into high school. I hit 5 foot and 100 pounds. I was so excited. It was like
it was a
double milestone. I was as tall as my mom and 100 pounds, right? I've since eaten that little guy.
Where did that little guy go?
That's right.
Now you're 5'3" with a crick in your neck.
Right.
That was the song, right?
Yeah. Shayna, who has a grace of God moment surviving an accident? Kent's bank story is hard to beat. Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, that is a good one. Is there such a thing as a nerdy geek? There's probably a geeky nerd. I don't know if there's
I
a
would
nerdy
think,
geek.
yeah. I mean, I think they
Right.
all fit together.
Ted says, I was the same way, Kent, and I agree with you. There you go.
Well, that's it. Show's over. Somebody
That's
agreed
it.
with you.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we were looking
I'm
for.
Giles. He's Jones.
Tune
and
in
we're
next
out.
week. Yeah.
Somebody agreed with Kent and not
Big
with me.
big plan. And is there if you have a grace of God moment, throw it out there. Of course, there's mine. If you are unfamiliar with it, was a hostile bank robbery when I had a gun pointed to me, point blank,
Right.
right to the old noggin, right, and by the grace of God, everything was good. And so you've done crazy things. Do you ever have that moment, or was it the tough skin moment?
I mean, as far as the grace of God, like looking down upon me and saving me,
Yeah,
plenty of moments like that in my life. I mean, I definitely, with all the things I've done and all the just all the things I've done and situations I've been in, I mean, realistically, I probably shouldn't be here. I've been very lucky that I'm still here. So there is some purpose that I still need to.
So I've got God to
achieve.
blame for your friendship.
Yes,
right.
yes. So there's so thank God, right?
That's it.
But I mean, there's definitely something that I'm, my mission is not complete on this earth yet.
Actually,
I
Drew says a nerdy geek is a dork. Actually, a dork is a whale's penis.
Is it really?
Look at it.
Nope.
Look at it.
No, I believe you if you say that.
Yeah, it is. It is a whale's penis. Ever get a voice that suggested you put on a seatbelt?
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. It's my truck. It goes beep beep beep,
Yeah.
and I go, well, maybe I should put it on.
Yeah.
It's telling me something.
No, I think there's a lot of those God instances, right? Not coincidences. Why you forget your keys or something, and
Right,
then
you're
there's an
behind
accident,
that, right?
Or whatever. I think there's a lot of those. But again, if you follow paranormal, or depending on how you believe, is in the previous life you knew that this, in your story, in the Akashic records, your story says, hey, on this day,
Right. This happens. There's gonna happen.
Right.
Beware.
Right. So you're kind of writing a note to yourself, but yeah,
That's like those feelings. Yeah, those deep feelings you get. 100 stitch story in my lifetime. Yeah, that's one.
And a crod is is backwards dork. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Scott, I remember a 100 stitch story in your lifetime.
I'm held together by stitches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I definitely, I definitely gave my parents a run for their money when it came to, you always get that call and be like, oh shit, what happened? Yeah. I mean, I think every time I came home, my mom, what happened? What'd you break? What'd you hurt?
Drop the bloody clothes at the door.
Yeah. Drop the clothes at the door.
Yeah. Don't bring them through my house.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I think there's a lot of instances where it was, it's like, why did that happen? Or why didn't that happen? Like you're talking about leaving your keys, or it set you on a certain time path, and, things do happen for a reason. And you can look at it a bunch of different ways as, God did it. You did it. It was just what was meant to happen. The energy, it's the atmosphere, it's, but it happens, and it happens that way. And however you describe it to yourself, or however it makes sense to you, is important.
Yeah. Had your guardian angels.
Right. And not judging somebody
watching,
for like if you say, oh, God saved me. Some people look at you and go, God didn't save you. You did it yourself, or, your brain did it, just understand that everyone's different. Right. And those come to God moments, or those God fearing moments and stuff like that, or, it's personal. And it's different for each individual.
Yeah.
Right. As to why we did or didn't do something. But
I mean, there's been times you sliding around on ice on your car, and you spinning around and missed 2 cars and into other traffic. I mean, that all happens.
Oh yeah.
See it all the time. Like, woo, the angels were watching today.
Well, that's a perfect example of that. Is I went off the road in Galena. first year I was up there.
Yeah.
And like literally fell off the road. And there's huge trees less than an inch from my truck. Didn't even scratch it.
Yeah.
Took a huge tow truck. Nobody got hurt. Took one of those big semi trucks to pull my truck back up out of the ditch, because the hills are out there pretty steep and not a scratch. And for me, I looked at him like, what did I do this week that I was blessed, right? That nothing happened.
Maybe that was God's way of saying, "Hey, idiot,
slow down,
pay attention."
I was paying attention.
Sure, you were.
I was. I actually knew it was going to happen.
I decided to drive into the ditch.
Yeah, I decided to drive into.
I didn't slow down. I know exactly.
I was bored that week. I needed a little wake me up, get everything rolling.
A little adrenaline shot.
That's right. That's right.
There's tons of those out there. I think you can look every day. I think at them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and then you see a 16 car pile up and a car explodes and people die, and you're like, wow,
why?
Why?
What happened? Why are they there? Not me.
Yeah.
Not necessarily not me, but yeah. I mean, it makes some of those things will definitely make you sit back and appreciate what you got going on in your life.
Yeah, well, and then you take a look at friends and things like that. You're like, man, it's been 2 years since Pete passed away, and you're like, why him? And why, look how lucky you are.
I can't believe it.
How many people do you know or read about that have died in car accidents? How many hours you put in behind the wheel, and you're like, you're fortunate.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's what I say. You just, on the motorcycle, how many times, man, I'm glad I, went this way instead of that way, or you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just, there's a lot of those that I think you have to kind of be aware of all the time. And
you do. And what you're kind of saying there is, for me it's also one of those things that can fall into going with your gut. Right. So a lot of times, well, if you don't go with, oh man, I should have done that. You didn't go with your gut and something happened.
Yeah.
Right. But if you do go with it and then nothing happens, you don't even think twice about it. Right?
Yeah.
Because nothing happened. But if something I shouldn't second guess myself.
Yeah. That's what my dad, always says is, my dad always says, if your gut isn't 100%, don't do it. And it's just that instinct. So that's a law I told my kids about, and I've lived by. It's like, if my gut's like, if there's an ounce in your gut that says, this may not be a good idea, it's probably not a good idea. That's when majority doesn't win.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because sometimes, like with me, for my gut, my gut will kind of make me think things through or kind of reevaluate, but I still want to go with it, or want to run with it because there's other extenuating circumstances, or kind of goes, well, yeah, okay, but, and obviously sometimes we regret that, going, shit, I should have listened to my gut. But we do what we do because it's, for me, I try not to second guess myself, even though I do nonstop. I try.
You don't try hard. What are you talking about? Should I get up? I don't know. Yeah. Should I pee this morning?
That's not an option. I don't get that choice.
Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I will.
Maybe I'll wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know. Welcome to this great show, everybody.
Welcome
Thanks
to the
for
show.
tuning in to 21.6. It's awesome. Like, follow, subscribe out there on the YouTube channel. If you're following us on Facebook, thanks, but get off and go up to YouTube. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell. We're trying to, get up to over 1,000 people subscribe. Why? Because then we have an opportunity to make money. I'm just going to be honest with you. Help me make money. What, you don't like my family? You don't want them to live? What's going on? That's all I'm asking.
That's the plea right there.
That's all I'm asking. Like, follow, subscribe. Go out to 216. That's it. Yeah. You ring the bell. You'll get a notice saying we're live.
Live.
I don't know.
We're live.
But that's all right. You don't like me. That's fine. Whatever. You want my kids to starve? Whatever.
That's not their problem. That's a you problem.
Yeah.
A you too problem.
It sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. Right?
It's not a me. I got to learn to say that more often, right? Sorry, that's a you problem.
That's not an MP. That's a YP.
That's a YP, right?
That's a you problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's part of the thing, is knowing when to say when and when not to say it, right?
That's right. That's right.
My problem, you problem. I have a hard time saying it to something. Sorry, that's a you problem.
Listen,
that really sucks.
Listen, I don't know if you know that we have just a shit ton of great shows on this station. I don't know if you'd listen every day, all day long, but you should. I mean, today, we've got coming up a little bit later. if you're out listening on 216thenet.com, of course, at 9:00 you'll get a rerun of one of the bridge shows.
We're gonna do a rerun today,
because we do that every other week now with the new host Kelly Vance and Phil Wallace. So we do that every other week. And now, hey, thanks, Ted. Of course, Legal Legacy Home and Business. Reach out to that guy. He does good things for people in his business, which is good. And Shayna says, color coordination with coffee cup adds an elegance not known for this show. Listen, if you know me,
I say he is color. He is color coordinated.
I color coordinate all the way down to the shoes. See that? That's the way I roll. And the blue glasses. I grew
fashionista.
I grew up with granimals, so I know how to match colors, right? Elephants and hippopotamus.
That was actually when they came up with that was a really good thing for parents like me, right?
Yeah, always
like you dress your kids, just put clothes on, and be like, my wife would always be like, man, that looks horrible. Be like, look at match the
giraffe and
the
giraffe.
Elephant.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It goes together.
But I like to be different.
Yeah.
I like to be different.
And then today we're live innovative strategies with Bill Hasse. He's going to have a couple guys on talking about something. Which is great, but it's kind of a business show. Sometimes it's not a business show. I don't even know. It's innovative strategies. It is morphed into something, which is great.
It's got a lot of.
Thank you, Shayna. Yes, and then then we have the Success Journey podcast that's always plays on our radio station, 216thenet.com. And In the Know with Steph and Joe comes up later, which is great. Today, In the Know with Steph and Joe, we'll have a guest on, which is awesome. And they were talking about if you're a small business, Ted, you may enjoy this one. Is they're talking about reading resumes and not being fooled by good resume writers. So
good resume writers. Well,
yeah, it'll be
resume can say a lot of things, but you have to be able to judge people. You know what I mean? I don't mean judge, but you know what I mean? You have to be able to read people.
Yeah.
You know, when you're coming in and know when they're trying to pull the shiitake over your eyes.
Saturday morning at 8 is the Neighborhood Pulse. That's a real estate show with Kevin Callback and myself, where we give buyers and sellers tips and tricks on the real estate industry. Saturday morning or Sunday mornings. This will not be live this week because she's living outside the box with Lisa Effluent, which is awesome. And the Reject Rundown. They're on. Yeah, that's the nice thing about being on the YouTube is that you'll get alerted because we really don't know when the rejects come and go, and that's why they're rejects. Sometimes they're on for 4 hours, sometimes it's an hour. I don't know. And then Monday mornings, this is cool. Is and just some prayers going out. We have the world's oldest podcast host. Right, Mike and Fran and the Unrehearsed on Monday mornings at 7 is a cool show, and Fran is 96 years old. She's been having some issues, so prayers go out to her, which is great. But how cool is that our station has the oldest podcast host in the world?
Yeah,
in the world. That's awesome.
Says a lot about you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's a great. She's funny like Betty White funny. She's really.
I loved her.
Yeah.
Loved her.
We will have. We're in conversations right now with Matt Barafato, the Purpose Hunter, to get that podcast over here, which is a cool podcast. And then on Tuesdays at noon is Let's Talk Local. We highlight local businesses every Tuesday at noon here in Northern Illinois area, and it's an incredible show. This week we are going to be spotlighting Think Big, Go Local. Bobby Bainey and Brian over there, they do great work for businesses. A lot of just tune in Tuesday at noon, you'll see it. Wednesday, two bald guys and a microphone, followed up by our good friend with Metaphysical Meanderings, our master psychic, which is great. And then we've got idea climbing every other week with Mark Carter. I mean, there's just so many, and many more, right? I mean, there's
Right.
so many
It's a
cool
very
ones. There's a
diverse-
bunch of new ones coming down the road. We're just blessed, and we play great music. Here's the other thing: if you got a music list you want to listen to, send it to us, and we'll create your music list out there and play it. We'll set up a couple hour block or whatever, and play your music. We absolutely
Be
love
the
it.
power hour.
Yeah, Ted wants to be on that show. Ted, yep, we'll talk and get you on. Absolutely, it'll be great.
So I got a quick question. Well, not a quick question for you, but obviously next weekend we got Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We won't be live next Friday, just so you know.
Yeah. Where are you going?
I'll be up in the Dells. That's where I always go.
That's right. That's right. That's what I was saying.
26 years we've been doing that.
Family traditions. Is that running up there every year, sitting in the
26 years we've done it, probably.
Yeah, that's awesome. Everyone goes up there, enjoys, sits in the lazy river.
Let's just say that everybody goes up there. Yeah,
everyone goes up there, sits in the lazy river, take the enjoys out of it.
I don't get in the water. There's nothing like human soup that makes me want to more than anything. And water parks and lazy public whirlpools or hot tubs.
Yeah.
People soup. That's what that is. It's bad. I don't know what to do with my face when a 20-something guru wannabe tells me about their self-published book. You've been sober 3 months. Sit down. Ideas.
Okay.
Here's where I'll go with that. I love it. But I love people. I love people's stories. I love trying to get in there and find out what's making them tick.
Who they are, where they've been.
I think that's awesome. And even though they don't have a lot of life history, it's like, hey, be prepared for your second book. How I fell off the wagon, got run over by it, got pooped on by the horse pulling the wagon, and then I'm sober again.
Back up, tried it one more time.
Right. So to me, I love and their creativity today's these millennials and Gen Zs, and I mean, their creativity is amazing to me, and the way that they think. Like I said yesterday, we were in a classroom of 20 somethings, I'm gonna guess, and we put together this sweet presentation. Drew and we're up there, man. We're in the zone. We're killing it. And you look out over the class. 3 of them are on their texting.
I was going to say, you guys think you're killing it. They're not even paying attention.
And nobody's taking notes anymore. They're just looking at you. And when I was in
college, they were videoing you.
When I was in college, it's like, taking notes, scribbling, doing something. One kid walks in almost an hour late.
Hey, you're really important. I'm coming in.
And so it was, it was great. But what I love is their creativity. I love their vision. I love their understanding that the world our world has changed, not theirs. This is what they grew up at.
I was going to say,
this is what they know.
Right. That's all they know. To them, they're looking at you going, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why do you got to do it that way? That's so dumb. Don't reinvent the wheel.
I love
totally different.
I love coaches who try to use Michael Jordan as an example. And I'm like, do you understand? They think Michael Jordan is a figure on a shoe and he owns a shoe company. That's who Michael Jordan is to these people. He is not they've never seen him play 1 minute of basketball. They don't know, you know what I mean? So I kind of laugh. I'm like, you really gotta step up and know. But yeah, I think it's great. Reality check seems excessive somehow. Yeah, always with those young kids. Since you are having an open topic morning, what has been the most difficult experience you've ever had?
Well, one that I would not discuss with anybody, but I've had many difficult experiences in my life. But I will say the most difficult experience I had in my life, if I did not have a support system, people to talk to, people to, bounce ideas off of, and to be there for support. We've talked about tribes and stuff like that. That for me, at that point, when I had those difficult
Yeah.
my tribe or my people around me are the ones that helped work me through it. I think it would have been a really, I mean, I went through it the way I went through it. I don't think it would have come out anywhere near as good as it did if I didn't have a support system out there, right, to help me at least just sit there and listen to me, maybe not tell me what to do.
This is easy for me. The most traumatic, the most difficult experience I've ever had was crawling out of my mom's cooch. Very, 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 very traumatic, very, very hard. I was in a very nice, comfortable place, and being pooped out of there was very, very,
you're killing me.
Very, no, that's bad. That's very,
How
very
do you
traumatic.
even know? Is that something you remember?
Well, sure, you remember it.
You remember that?
Your brain has it in there.
Remembers it?
Yeah, your brain has it in there.
So we all start out traumatized.
Yeah, I mean, come in that way, right? I mean, not to try to be funny, but
no, I'm asking. I mean,
if you want me to tell you that,
right?
I mean, that's it.
So you believe you think that that's something you actually still hold on to, or you believe?
Oh, sure, you remember that. It's in one of those crevices of your brain. That's where your brain's all folded up. We only use 10% of our brain, right? If that, right? So it's in there,
right?
It's in there, right? Yeah, no, that absolutely. I came out laughing. Yeah. I came out. The doctor's like, "Oh, it must be cold in here." Huh? Yes, right.
That's why they started spanking him.
But I mean, give me some context. In what in life and business, in my relationship with my wife, in raising a kid. Where is it? I mean, there's no worse feeling. Bob, this because he was your kid. There's no worse feeling than getting that call. I was just in an accident. Right. My car is totaled.
Hospital. Yeah. That's a horrible call.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you talk about most difficult experience, give me some context there, because there's been a ton of them. I mean, that's what life is a lot of difficult experiences, right?
It's how we react to it. It's not what happens, it's how we react to it.
Was it when I split my head open on the on the playground, or was it
well, yeah, I mean, and exactly, I get what you're saying on that one, because there's a lot of different things. And are you looking personal, business? So I mean, there's so many different different areas that you could kind of go into that one. But like I said, when it comes for me, the most difficult one, that's something I wouldn't want to share with people, because it was
and I've got a big melon. I mean, so my mom, God bless that woman. So Shayna says, I wish the influencer culture would evolve to a more of an inspiration one. Here's what I wish on that. First of all, I wish that the people who think that they can be influencers understand the amount of work that go into it. A lot of hey, I can get on and go, hey, look at my Samsung Flip 5, right? And boop. And then my next, and all of a sudden 6 people are like, oh, I love the Samsung Flip 5.
I think a lot of kids these days, I forget where it was, I was listening to the other day that said that, all these kids coming up, a lot of kids these days coming up, when they ask them what they want to do with their lives, they tell them they want to be an influencer. And for me, influencer is somebody, for me, and I'm probably, wrong, but an influencer to me is somebody that I'm learning from, that I'm taking their knowledge, right? They're influencing my movement forward in some specific area. A teacher, but how can you teach, or how can you influence if you're young and don't have any experience or real knowledge yet?
What do you mean?
Well, these kids want to grow up and be an influencer. Don't you have to have knowledge? You have to have.
Nope. You just have to have you have to have something go viral. That's it. Oh, well, they got 1 million followers. Guess why we want everybody to go out onto YouTube, Nate. Thanks. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, because we can make money if we get up so much. I ain't going to lie to you. That's what it is all about, right?
Well, and we can also.
I spend a lot of time on the air. Right. Guess what? Pay me.
And we can also help a lot of people too, which is, the whole reason for DDOE that came into existence.
Yeah, here's how we help a lot of people. We're not like those idiots. My life's not so bad. Them idiots. That's how we influence people right here.
But being able to help people, because you have the time, the knowledge, the energy, the resources.
Listen. I don't want to help. I just want to make people laugh. I want people to feel good. I don't want to help people. Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Well, that helps people, making them laugh and feel good.
That's
an important thing.
All you need is the Google box. That's it. Yeah.
All you need is the Google box for the influencing.
Yeah. That's me. I was the kid who talked too much in class. So now that's what I do for a living is I talk. So all my teachers, you right there. How you like me now?
I hope one of
35 million reach.
I hope one of your grade school teachers is watching and just chimes right and be like, Kent,
they're probably dead. We didn't have young teachers. They were all old.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot. You got the young teachers like, wow,
hey. The young teacher was the student, coming in to student teach for a few months.
Right.
And then gone.
If that.
You're like, oh, wow, there's young people who teach. Not in this school. Not in my schools.
Well, no, I went to Catholic, so I had nuns. So none of them were really young. They're all old bats. No pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, hey, thanks, Nate. You're great. Thanks for being on Facebook, idiot. Yeah. Hope your kid's doing good, though. He's a cute little kid. Listen, here's Nate. Here's something, Shayna, I think you will appreciate. So Nate is he's just had a kid. The kid's not a year old yet, right? Jax is a cute kid. Honest to God is. But here's something that I have always hated and I've never partaken in. My wife has. I have not. Is they take the baby and they set it in a pumpkin. Right? For Halloween or whatever, right? Or they put it in a little turkey costume. Hey, May 1st, right? And I look at that because I'm me and my brothers grew up in the 1970s, where we all had the same outfit. We look like the Jackson 5. There's 4 of us, right?
I've got quite a few pictures of that.
Right? Yeah, right.
Old plaid outfits.
And I never.
I loved them, by the way.
I'm sure my wife has, and we probably have pictures, whatever. But that's one thing I always go. You know what? Your kid's gonna hate you. You're going to show them, hey, buddy, look what popped up on my memory from when you were a year old. You put me in a fucking pumpkin? What was your problem? You know what I mean?
That's photography.
Did I enjoy being a goddamn pumpkin? I didn't.
Why would you think of that?
Right? I just, it's funny, right? Yeah. See, he's got a turkey costume. He says, I'll take a picture.
That's cute.
I'll send you a picture. He's got to, hey, Jackson's a good looking dude.
Amusement of the parents. Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Like you're going to look at your pictures as a kid and go, oh, I love that. Thanks for taking that picture, Mom. You're going to be like, why did you do that to me?
People do the same shit with their chihuahua.
Yeah.
All right. You understand?
Yeah.
They do it with a dog. So you're doing the same thing to a kid that you do with a dog.
You're dressing up something you love to make it cute and have good memories. What's wrong with that?
Great, man. Yeah. Hey,
what's wrong with
I'll
that?
talk to Jax when he's 20. Be like, hey.
Yeah, do you remember being dressed as a turkey?
Maybe the reason you're pissed at your dad right now is because he stuffed you in a fucking pumpkin when you were a year old.
Holding on to that deep-seated hate, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you know your dad, the guy on Facebook.
Yeah. He posted pictures of you naked.
Stuffed in a pumpkin.
In a pumpkin. You're naked in a pumpkin.
Naked in a pumpkin.
That's a...
Right.
That's
a
different show.
That's a whole different show. There's naked stuffed in a pumpkin next on 21-6.
Yeah, right.
I was never, and it's probably because of the 70s. You look back and honest to God, all 4 of us boys were.
That was a thing.
We looked like the Jackson 5. Yeah,
that was a thing back then. My mom and dad bought us all matching outfits all the time.
Yeah, my sister-in-law has done that. And I'm just like, no, I won't do it. I mean, look, there are things online now, like worst family of photos, and everybody's got that outfit or something.
That would be a good one. We have to show me like send on your what you consider your worst family photo or your worst photo.
Right. Fine line between creative and stupid. Right. Exactly. I am with you.
Right. Well, there is a fine line, and to one it's creative. The other one is like that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Listen.
Right. It's what makes us happy. You're not hurting anybody. Well, like if you're saying remember that stuff, they might be hurting them.
Now blow up this because look, I mean, if that boy doesn't look just like his pops, is crazy, right?
Yeah,
it's like a mini me, for real. But he says I'll have the pumpkin picture blown up on a poster board on his first basketball game.
Oh, I mean, setting him up.
I mean, that's I love that you're doing that for the cheerleader, right? I mean, good that Jackson is going to be cheerleading is a tough sport, so I'm glad he'll be cheerleading for the basketball team. I mean, it's a tough sport, and there's great scholarships in there. So people out there, if you want to, especially for male cheerleaders, you get paid for college real quick, faster than any other sport.
It's growing.
Yeah, trust me on that.
Well, I would have done really well.
It's the truth.
Is it really?
I was.
Sometimes I'm never sure
When
if you're bullshitting or.
but no, my freshman year, I was my freshman sophomore year, I was a cheerleader because I was too little to play football.
Yeah,
I would have got crushed, right? But I was a basketball player. I didn't want to get injured, so I was a male cheerleader.
You got the voice for it.
Yeah, it was fun.
The enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I can just see him. Ready? Okay. For Kent.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
That's what that meant. That's why they said ready instead of ready. Okay, it was ready for K.
Yeah.
Here comes Kent.
Aggressive.
Be aggressive. Yeah.
BEAGGRESSIVE.
Oh, you spelled it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. You're good. You can spell back then, too.
Worst family photo. My brother and I dressed up in Elvis's blue suede suit. I love it. See?
That was in back then. That's great.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That was the thing back then. You could
great.
actually probably coming back now, too. You could probably wear that again and be fit right in.
Yeah. Who had the laser background, right? No, I ended up going with the, of course, I had the nice mullet working, right? But I went with the fake bookcase, the white Oxford with the knit tie.
Oh, you got to choose what your backgrounds were?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, not us.
Yeah.
Smile. Look at the camera. Smile.
For your senior pictures?
Yeah. Senior.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Actually, I just showed you those the other day, didn't I? Of me in 8th grade. Remember
That's the funniest comment right there of the day. Nate takes home, as he's a cheerleader. Just don't yell, "Give me some D." We all know that doesn't mean defense.
And thanks for tuning in today, guys.
Hey, there it is. There is the bumper sticker. Yeah.
You need a visual on the mullet. Yeah. Consider no one's ever seen you with hair. You're gonna have to pull that up. I got one that I had. That's funny. It was my high school ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I still keep some of those. I don't know why. But it cracked me up. But Ted says what? No. To make it worse, my dad had us model it in JCPenney newspaper ad. There you go.
Oh,
remember
yeah.
That day?
You
go to JCPenney and you do the or Sears and Roebuck.
Yeah, had to have the cool action photo thing ish. Yeah.
And that was the day I was like, really? You're gonna dress me up in this? Are you kidding?
I'm what I'm looking for. I might have it on my phone. He's
looking for a mullet shot of himself, Shayna.
I might have it on my phone. My wife's in my engagement picture. So let me see. I may let me just try to find it. Let me try to find it. Keep talking
somewhere. No, I'm watching your phone. I'm watching your phone to see what's coming up there. But
you keep talking.
Well, that was in back then, right? The old mullet for us.
Oh yeah. That was way in, right? It was so in.
And actually, it was they frowned upon it. They wanted us to have our hair no longer than collar length, and
Oh, in the Catholic. Oh, mine was Billy Ray Cyrus long, at one point. But I don't have a picture of that.
But you didn't.
My mom and dad probably.
Did you go to Catholic grade school?
No,
you went to public, right?
Yeah, not Catholic. Goodness.
All right, sorry. You went to a religious school.
Yeah, I was not going to be an altar boy.
CCD
so maybe that might be the most traumatic experience that Scott ever had, was being an altar boy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I was an altar boy, but I wasn't a
good boy.
I wasn't
good boy.
Yeah.
It was the father give.
Yeah, no.
2 Snickers and a.
Yeah, no. I wasn't a sacrificial lamb.
That's right.
I
don't know. that was wrong, but funny all at the same time.
Yeah. So, the visual on the mullet.
How do I get?
You got it? No. I could probably just buy one and put it on you. Then we can all see what you look like with hair.
Yeah. Dang.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't get at it. I found it
for next week's.
Yeah.
Show.
Let me
wait. Next week we're off.
Yeah. For the week following.
Giving thanks.
I'll get it up there. Yeah.
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 I want to see that too. Now you got me all.
Alice looks the same. I don't look anything the same.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I just got white hair instead of gray
Yeah.
hair now.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's what do they say? It's
Yeah, you
earned.
sent me a picture of your
I did. I
younger.
sent you. Yeah, I sent you the.
You were kind of buffed up there with the
Yeah.
nice dark hair. I was like, oh my God, didn't even look like you. I was like,
No,
oh.
no, that was my
Ah.
8th grade. That's why I was laughing.
No, the other one where you were at a bar or something.
Oh, that was in Jamaica.
Yeah.
That was in Jamaica. I
Yeah.
sent you the picture.
I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, man, I had to double check. Like, that's Scott.
Is that me? Yeah, that was weird. That would have been in like.
I mean, you were
late
big.
80s.
You were bigger.
Yeah.
More muscular.
More
yeah.
muscular. Yeah. I lost a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I've gone like everybody else throughout my life, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, oh, no, it was, yeah. Yeah, look good. I had to look twice. I was like, what the? What?
That's not him.
Oh, then you see it in your eyes, right?
My eyes were shut. My eyes were slit.
Good. Yeah, I don't look. I mean, everybody they take a look at Alice's. We've been married in June will be 32 years, and everybody looks at it and goes, "Is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's her first husband." That's what I say.
That's her.
She looks the same. She looks identical. Right?
That's because you've given her such a good life. You haven't been tough
yeah,
on her.
I bet she would say the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Everything's been smooth sailing for the Joneses.
Yeah, oh yeah. She is this
because everyone's trying to keep up with you guys.
Yeah, she. I came in and I was her knight in shining armor, and my armor got rusty.
Your army got rust, but at least it's color coded.
And that was month number 4. Yeah, no.
At least it's color coded. You dress in right.
That's right. That's right.
You got the right.
That's
the right.
right. That's right. That's the way to do it. Absolutely. Man, we're right at the back end of this. We got about 5 minutes left, 4 or 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But you know what? Join us for other shows. Listen, we're a non-genre music station. That means you can listen to Chopin, Tupac, some electronic dance music, to Bon Jovi, to whatever, all in the same half hour.
So with that being, what's the one music, or is there any music that you won't listen to?
I don't like opera.
Right.
Because I don't like I can listen to classical music if it's an orchestra, depending on the mood I'm in. I can go heavy metal, I can go death metal, I can blues. Depends what mood I'm in. Right.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
Yeah.
Opera, just I can't do it. I've been invited before. I tried, and it's just like I just can't get into it. You know what I mean? And in music, it's you're getting into it. You're having that feeling. You're being able to follow, hopefully, what's going on. And opera's just like no.
I can't.
That's one place that I could probably fall asleep.
But I could do a musical. I mean, if they go, if there's like a play that's a musical, I dig that. Like you go watch Grease or something on stage, or The Lion King on stage. I could do that. I enjoy those, but not opera.
The last one we went to was called Stomp. Remember that one?
Oh yeah,
many years ago. Yeah, that was a good one. Downtown Chicago. That was the last.
Yeah.
That was the last musical I went to.
But so I can listen. That's why we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves into a genre, right? Because if you don't like that genre, you're kind of screwed. Now there are people who are like, man, you're playing some sweet jams, and then all of a sudden, bop comes on or something, and I had to turn it off. You're like, well, that happens, but it's only for a song.
Hey, diversity, right? I mean, I like to listen to a little bit of everything, and obviously your music's going to bring your mood up or down depending on what you're listening to.
Yeah,
and that's one thing that's awesome about having everything at the touch of your hand. You
can
pick and choose as you want.
And right now we're in the process of developing a new studio space in a new town, and hopefully we'll have a lot of local talent now. Right.
Yeah.
We're putting together a venue to be able to have bands come in, so that we can just play their music and give them an opportunity to be heard around the world. So
come out and rock out in the 216.
The Streets. That's what it's going to be called. The Streets. Yep. We're working with Piano Trends on that in Crystal Lake. So
it's going to be a nice place.
Love Tim over there and Piano Trends, because it's a lot of his passion and vision too. So it's
you didn't tell him what you did with your piano, did you?
My pianist?
Yeah, you took your pianist and turned it into your piano.
Yeah, I got Joe. Joe
roll
from
over to sleep.
Joe Turner from In the Know with Steph and Joe and Restoration One came over and gutted out the harp and the strings and everything, and we made the piano into a computer desk. Really, really cool. It lights up. We left the keys in it. put some made it a glass top. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's really
It looks
cool.
really good. But the guy at the piano store probably wouldn't be very happy that you did that.
No, he actually liked the idea.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of people piano, you can't move pianos because you get the electric keyboard now with the piano weighted keys.
Right.
So where it used to be this really cool piece of furniture you'd put in your home.
Right.
Nobody wants it. It's big, bulky, and
see,
they don't want it.
I've got a beautiful one that my mom used to play for me when we were kids.
Yeah.
And it's in my mom doesn't want it, which I get. It's not
turn it into a bar.
I'm hope my daughter used to play. I'm hoping to convince her to put it in her house so she can play it for her kids.
I mean, how hard are you convinced? It's been in your garage for how many years?
No, just a year.
So how hard are you? So how hard are you convincing her? You're not. It'd be easy. It'd be easy to go over there.
Should I just deliver it?
You're hoarding it. You're hoarding it right now because you think it means something to her. It means something to you.
Right. Well, no, it means something to me, and I'd like to see her play it.
Well, right, but that's a selfish thing. Why do you want to wish that on your daughter? Because you want it out of your garage?
No. I just don't want to get rid of it. It's a big part of my childhood.
Well, then why don't you learn how to play it? It's not too late.
I've tried. I dabbled.
It's not what I'm saying. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do. Why don't you?
I'm scared.
Clean it up, tune it up, set it in your living room, and then you should just sit there with your grandkids and make new memories.
Okay.
Why don't you and the little one take lessons together?
Ooh.
And by the time she's 5, she could be the next Elton John. And Grandpa working with her right there. Think about it.
Interesting thought.
She might really, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you take those beautiful memories that your mother gave you and pass it on to your granddaughter, not your daughter?
There you go.
I'm just saying, just an idea.
I thought about. I mean, it's just the placement. I just do it at my house.
Listen, I have tried. I can't read music. I don't know anything about it. When we go over and work on the streets, there's all these pianos, and I go, and somebody's like, "Well, all you got to do is do this," and I do it, and it sounds like, there's a cat running a crowd. There's
like me picking up a guitar.
It's horrible. It doesn't work. Musicians to me are like magicians. I don't understand how they move their fingers and make beautiful music. Same way I don't understand how a magician gets sawn in half, right, or disappears. I don't know.
I have
it's magic.
Utmost respect.
It's magic
for musicians.
Me.
I mean, I played the sax for years. I was okay. I mean, I was okay. It was grade school, high school, but. Some of these people that just play, like my nephew's amazing at the guitar.
I was not a band nerd.
You were not a band nerd or a band
now
geek.
We've come full. Look, we're 2 minutes over, but we came full circle.
There we go. The band geek.
Let's see. Shana says my husband's prenup has an escape clause if subjected to musicals and opera.
Smart man.
Exactly.
That's the best type of prenup.
Listen, we got to run. We're over time. Come back at about 10:30 for Innovative Strategies with host Bill Hasse. Until then, everybody, have a great Thanksgiving. Be good, but more importantly, be good to one another. And this Thanksgiving, go out and spend a lot of money on Black Friday. Can we say Black Friday? Never mind.
Because it's not. Yeah. Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you. Have a great week.